Welcome to the team call, everybody. Thank you for hopping on. I'm excited for tonight. Well, I'm excited about, I just need to shout you guys out for showing up. Last week, all we did was host a power hour, and lots of people were on the cruise, and I thought most people would skip it because it's just like, it's not a training call, it was a working call, and a lot of people were gone on spring break and stuff, and we had almost 100 people on that call, and we've had like over 100 people on every call since the new year, and it's amazing. It said 283 people were confirmed to come to this tonight, so we will see if people follow through on their word. But I'm really excited to share because as you know, we're kind of in sales, and I think that we overcomplicate what sales actually is. So I want to share with you guys tonight kind of my strategy on why I think I am successful at selling. And, spoiler alert, sorry about the dings, spoiler alert, everything that I say and believe really always comes back to your mindset. So I will be talking on that a lot, but I'm going to share my screen with you and ask questions in the box if you have them, and then hopefully we'll have time at the end. I don't think it's going to be that long, but let's just see. Okay, so I move this over here. I don't think you guys can see that. All right, so here it is. Sales 101. The art of selling is in not selling a thing. So I'm going to dive into this, but I got to pull up my notes, make sure I remember everything. Okay. So when you think about sales, sales is about inspiring yourself or someone else to take action, right? The key to getting that action, to getting that other person to take action is believing in your product. The more that you believe in your product, the higher your conversion rate. And I want to give you an example of the iPhone. So we had the diamond call. It's like a Carrot Club coffee chat that we do once a month with the diamonds on the team. And I talked about the iPhone last call, but I believe in the value of the iPhone. If any of you guys follow You Can Sit With Us, my podcast, we talked about Apple products today. I am an Apple enthusiast through and through, and I believe that any other thing that you have is inferior. I believe you can be successful having a Samsung or a Droid or whatever the other companies are. I just don't think it's as efficient. I believe in what an iPhone can do for your life. But especially when you guys see somebody with a flip phone, right? And I don't know how many of you guys remember this, but when the iPhone first came out, it was all the rage, and I'm like, I don't need that. I don't need the iPhone. Why would I, what's the purpose of having the internet in my hand? I don't need that. I have it right here on my computer, right? And people would try to convince me, no, it's amazing. Then you get a smartphone, and my first one was a BlackBerry, right? You get a smartphone, and you're like, oh shit, how did I ever live without this? How did I ever function without a smartphone? And then when I moved from a BlackBerry to an iPhone, it's a whole new world. So when I see somebody, first of all, I don't add anyone into group chats that doesn't have an iPhone. I just think it makes your life so much more seamless. And Shannon Harvey, I'm sure she's on here because she attends all the calls. But I remember, I adore her. I love everything about her, but I was so annoyed when she first joined. She didn't have an iPhone, and I couldn't do a normal chat with her. And then finally she upgraded to an iPhone, and I was doing all these things that an iPhone can do, where if you don't have an iPhone, you don't know, but you can click on a text and react to it. As you do on Facebook, you can like a text, you can emphasize a text, you can laugh at something, whatever, so that, sometimes you don't need to always be responding. You can also leave voice memos like you can do on Facebook. You can do group chats, and all of that syncs. And then if you send me a text on here, it comes through on my computer, it'll come through on my Apple Watch, it's all just in sync. Oh gosh, this is starting, look, it's already just taking notes for me. Oh gosh, I hope I didn't just get rid of that. Oh no, there it is. So it started taking a note for me. So then Shannon was like, holy shit, this thing can do so much. It really is a whole new world. So when somebody has something that's not an iPhone, I believe that they are using an inferior product. I believe it. I don't need to convince them of it. I don't need to have any special tactics. I just know the iPhone is awesome and you need it. It simplifies your life. It makes it better. So for any of you that haven't adopted the iPhone, or if there are some anti-Apple peeps for some reason, like, I'm just saying, maybe the camera, like there are some phones that have superior cameras or whatever, but I'm willing to have whatever downfalls the iPhone comes with to have it enhance my life in all the ways, right? Like, I just believe in it. So if someone wants to battle me about it, they're not going to sell me on that concept. I'm going to like work hard on selling them, right? It's just a foundational belief for me. And I want you guys to think about our business in the same way. And maybe the iPhone isn't that for you, but think about something that you just like believe in, right? What if I knew the cure to cancer? Let's pretend for a minute. I know the cure to cancer, and I know somebody who has cancer. I know the cure, and I know somebody who needs this cure. I don't need to know techniques on how to present this in the right way. I don't need to know how to close them. I don't need to be worried about what it's going to cost them or convince them that they should give this a shot. Like, I believe it is the cure to cancer. It could save their life. So all I need to do is just know what I've got, believe in what I've got, and tell them about it, regardless of what they're going to think of me. Whether they want, I'm just going to present that to them, right? I'm just going to say, hey, I've got this solution that's going to save your life. You should try this. And I'll tell them why, and I'll back it up, and I'll show, examples and all these things. But it's up to them on if they see the value in that or not. And a lot of people, you have found by now, I'm sure, object. They don't see the value in what you're presenting right away. So first of all, I think you need to just make sure you understand objections are a part of this. It doesn't say anything about your ability to be a coach. It doesn't say anything about whether you can be successful long-term or if they will actually be a customer of yours or not. Objections are par for the course. And I now, I think it was last year that I started shifting I don't really call them objections anymore. I call them limiting beliefs, because that's what they are. They might frame it as, I don't have the money, but what it really is I don't see the value in that. Or they might frame it as, I don't have the space or the time or whatever, and we're going to get into some of these objections. But it's really just they don't see how that's going to help their life yet. So objections are just their own limiting beliefs, and we as coaches get to help them work through those. So I don't care if when I'm presenting a challenge pack to somebody, I don't care if they don't see the value in it yet, because I do. I see the value in it, and I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep showing up in a public way. I'm going to keep following up with them. I'm going to keep checking in on them. I'm going to keep trying until they do. And it's not like if someone says no thank you or they ghost me, I kind of am like, okay, well, first of all, you're crazy. Second, help me understand why you're not interested in this. Because I'm confused. Why wouldn't you be all in on this? I know firsthand what this has done to my life. And you guys, before you go comparing, well, yeah, Ashley, you have all this, you make this money and you've got this Beachbody success. I had this belief, guys, before I had business success. I had belief in our products because these products changed my life. So I believed in what it was. So I was working on my success story as a challenger before I was really a coach. And so think about when you have a conversation involving sales, one person is going to win. It's either going to be you that sells them on a yes, or they're going to sell you on a no. Right? Somebody comes out ahead in that situation, and it's the person with the bigger belief. So sales is a triangle, right? It's threefold to make it work. So they need to be connected to you. They need to be connected to your product, and then you need to feel connected to them. All of those three things need to be in place to have a successful sale. So being connected to you means, and you already know this, you need to share yourself and your life on social media. You need to let people know who it is behind the screen. I hear over and over and over again, and I feel like our team does this better than any other team that I've seen out there. And it's because Brene Brown came into my life when I very first started this journey, and I was able to embrace the idea of being vulnerable and being who I truly am. And I think that has a trickle-down effect. So I think our team is more authentic than any other team that I've seen. But I still know that it's really hard, especially when you're a new coach, to put yourself out there fully. And I hear all the time, like, people, just appreciate how real I am. And at this point, I don't know any other way to be. But I do know it didn't start that way. Like, I hid myself from the world basically for the first 32 years of my life or something, or maybe 31 years of my life. But you just start putting little bits of you out there, getting more and more comfortable, figuring out what makes you tick. Because sometimes we've hid ourselves for so long, we don't even know what we're interested in. Because all we've been thinking about is, what do other people want us to be interested in, right? So start putting yourself out there. And that's why I really am such a huge advocate of Instagram stories, because that is, you show up in a way on stories that no picture and caption can share with people. People will connect with you. And that is one, like, if there are three main components, and that is one of them, don't underestimate what you need to be able to put out there for people to connect with you. And then people need to be connected to your product. So how do you do that? Well, it's a vital behavior. You need to be proof that the products work. You need to show what it is that our product is, how it's working for you, and how it's working for other people. So that means that you're showing up every day. You're pushing play. You're drinking your shake. You're putting it in stories. You're taking people on your journey. I remember Emily said this was like a huge thing. And for her, as her business started shifting into, the powerhouse that it is now, that when she started 8 Obsession, every week put up a transformation photo. And every day she showed up on social media, taking people on that journey with her. So they know what the product is. They're connected to the product. They're seeing the product and they're seeing the results. And then she's also able to share other people's results too. And you get to do that, right? And then the third piece of the triangle is you need to feel connected to them. And I think this is a piece that is often overlooked in sales. We think it's all about us, but you need to feel connected to them, which is why you need to ask questions. You need to find their need and figure out what it would take for, to create that value that they are looking for. And if their need is like something that we can't fix, I don't know I feel like we can pretty much fix anything, but if someone is like, I have to work out face to face with, well, even then we have Zoom. I feel like you just got to find out what their need is so that you can plug in that solution. But the problem is we jump to the solution way before we build that relationship. And that is a key part of the triangle. So I want you guys to really slow down when you're having these conversations, like connect to them. Talk to them like the humans that they are. Figure out what their need is before you offer your solution. Because we don't really have a one size fits all, right? For some people, it's time. For some people, it's nutrition. For some people, it's I have no idea how to eat. For some people, it's community and accountability. For some people, it is just having anybody positive in their life, someone to support them. Like, just figure out what it is for them and then present your solution once you know that. So you've got to have all parts of that triangle together for the sale to work. And when you don't, so like up here, when you're not connected to them, I feel like a lot of times coaches go into every month and they say to themselves, I need to sell 3 challenge packs a month. I need to sell 3 challenge packs this month so that I can hit Success Club. And if you focus on what others can do for you, you're only serving you. You're not serving their needs. You're not making that connection to them. You're only thinking about what they can do for you. So instead, I want you to think, I don't need Susie, Sally, and Sarah specifically to buy from me right now. I need the people who need my product to buy from me. Wonder who they'll be, right? So as you're having conversations and you get ghosted and you get no's and you get those limiting beliefs that come up from Susie, Sally, and Sarah, and you're counting on them to buy from you, they don't need your product yet because they've got some limiting beliefs that they got to work through. They don't see your value yet. But I wonder who it is going to be. I wonder who those 3 people will be for you, right? So I want you to flip the script of not what do I need to get this month? Who can I help this month that needs what I have? Because I don't want to take anybody's money ever from someone who isn't dying to give it to me. right? And that is why I don't talk about the big challenge groups that the super trainers run. I don't talk about those because for me, that's not a value. I want people who want to work with me, who see the value in working with me. Now, if I was a brand new coach, I would leverage those groups more. I would still make myself the main prize, because even if you are a brand new coach, you are a prize. Think about, you need to start recognizing yourself as that. People are trusting you to take them on this journey. They're investing their money with you. And if you're selling yourself short, then you're not going to be able to help them in the way that you absolutely could if you have the confidence to back it up. All you need is some confidence in it, and the confidence comes when you do it, right? So flip the script on, not that you need to sell 3 challenge packs to any Tom, Dick, or Harry. You need to sell challenge packs to people who need your product right now. And there's thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people out there who need it. Selling is so much more about what you're giving. What you get in return is a byproduct that happens much, much later. People are not points. And when you focus on, I've got to hit Success Club, I need to have 3 people purchase from me this month, and you leave it until the end of the month and you're stressed out AF, you're treating people like points. Guaranteed you're not thinking about the lives on the other side. Because if you were thinking about the lives, you wouldn't wait until the last month. I hustle every single day like it's the last day of the month. Well, I take the weekends off. But I hustle Monday through Friday, and I still show up on social media on the weekends. I hustle every day like it's the last day of the month, because there's lives at stake. It's not Success Club points or padding my paycheck. There's lives on the other side that I get to help, right? So I got to find the people that need what I have. They're out there. So the reason that I'm a top coach is because I stay rooted in how I'm serving other people. I'm not selling challenge packs, right? I'm selling a solution. I'm not worried about what others, what me signing somebody up, what that can do for me. I'm not worried about how, I've got goals, right? But if I focus only on the goals and the numbers and the points, then this business isn't fulfilling. It's not sustainable. And people can feel that. So here's the sales evolution, right? You're going to start by building a relationship. So you find prospects, you get out there on social media, you make connections. That's another big thing that I see is that, error when people are starting is you want people to come to you. That's not how sales works. You want people to purchase from you. You want to help people, but you want them coming and begging you for help. Look, they've got tons of limiting beliefs. And you are brand new. So there's no proof yet that you can help them, or that you're not going anywhere, or that you can even help yourself. You've got to get out there and be knocking on people's door and building those relationships. You need to start conversations with people and be genuinely interested in getting to know them. Then you move to the next step. Number 2, you've got to understand their problem. What do they need? Where do they want to go? And what is blocking their path to get there? Then, number 3, you have to honestly evaluate if what we have can get them there. And if we can't, do not sell them what we have, right? If they're like, I need to lose 50 pounds in the next 2 weeks, whatever you can give me a fat burner, give me a wrap, give me this, that. You're like, oh, okay, well, I don't have something for you. I can help you lose weight. I can help you lose those 50 pounds, but I'm not going to do it for you in 2 weeks. I cannot help you, right? But if you can figure out what their need is, and we generally do have a solution for everybody, then if you can get them to buy something, oh yeah, this is an important point. So if you get them to buy something that they don't need, then you have an exchanged value there, and that's also not sustainable. It's not going to last. So when you guys are like I do think it's important in the beginning to build that confidence that you ask for favors. You call in favors to your friends and family of hey, I've started this new business. I'm really excited about it. would you help me out and kind of be my guinea pig and maybe try this, program out for me? It's not free, but I promise you'll love it. And if you don't, you can get your money back, right? Like, it's okay to do that in the beginning, to build that confidence, to build your clients. Then you get to use those stories and share them later. But also you have to stay rooted in like, I know that this could help you too. Right? Because everybody we know wants to be healthier, and everybody that we love, we want them around for as long as possible. We want them to be their best and healthiest selves. So what we have is a pretty rad thing to offer, but don't, just focus on making sales and having people buy from you, because that, if there's not an exchange of value there, if you're just focused on the Success Club points and you sign somebody up and then you don't help them, then that's not a sustainable system. Okay, but when you decide, yes, I can help you, you move on to step 4 and you present your solution. And you have to present your solution in a way that generates emotion with your prospect. Because we only take action based on how we feel. We don't buy things that we need, right? We buy what we want, what we believe we need. We don't, how many times, like, there's so many times where I'm like, oh, I need to do this. I need to go get that. I need to, get this thing. I wish I had like an example coming in my brain right now. And I'm like, instead, I'm going to go to cocktails and I'll rack up a $50 bar tab because I want it. And I would do that back when I had no money to spend, right? Like, I need to pay this parking ticket, but I want to go to happy hour. So it's like you've got to evoke some sort of emotion from them. And then you get to close the sale. And once you close the sale and they say yes, you get to work helping them build belief that they made the right choice. So you've got belief all of this time, and now you have to prove to them, yeah, I'm going to make you believe that this was the right choice. You invested your money in the right spot. And again, never sell something that you wouldn't be excited to buy. I've had so many people that come to me and they think because I'm successful at Beachbody that I could be successful at anything. That I could, like, people like, oh, join this skincare thing. I've had several skincare companies like, it's a ground floor network marketing. You'd be so good at it because look at you. You've already got the space. And I'm like, no, I'm not passionate about skincare. I'm just not. So could I be good at selling it? Sure, if I was passionate about it and I believed in it and it completely changed my life. The Roden and Fields reps, there are people that really believe to their core that it is the best skincare out there and it's transformed their face, right? But I'm not one of those people. So I'm not ever going to sell something that I'm not crazy passionate about and don't believe in, because then you're just a salesman, like an icky used car salesman. So you've started closing these sales, you're making these relations, you're closing these sales. It's also important to make sure that you live in the results of what you're selling. So when I think about it, I could not afford a challenge pack when I bought a challenge pack. The reason that I bought a challenge pack, it was $205. It was Insanity and Shakeology. It was only, DVDs. We didn't have Beachbody On Demand, so it was one program and Shakeology, $205, which is more than like any of our programs now, and BOD, which is every single program that we have. But I couldn't afford it. What I wanted was to feel good in my wedding dress on my wedding day. So I spent the money because there was a feeling involved. I spent the money on this thing. And I got to work. I wanted to, I bought it to get in shape for my wedding, put it on a credit card. Buying that challenge pack is the best money I have ever spent. Hands down, no questions asked. There is nothing else that even comes close. Not even like my college tuition, like nothing comes close to the money that I spent on that challenge pack. So when people say to me, I can't afford it. My husband lost his job. I don't have time. I work 3 jobs and got, a bunch of kids. I don't believe in shakes. I've tried a bunch of them and they just never work for me. I could never inspire anyone. I've tried every diet and I failed them all. Like, I just don't think this will be my solution. I don't have room in my house. It's really small and I'm also in an apartment, so I don't want to bother people below me. I hate vegetables. So do you have a plan that I don't have to eat vegetables? I'm not a morning person, so I just don't know if I could do this because you have to work out in the morning, right? Every single time someone says something like this to me, every time they give me an objection, I'm like, no way, girlfriend, we are late. We got to go right now. We have to go right now. We're late. You have to join me right now. I live in the results of what I'm selling. That one challenge pack investment completely changed my life. This picture on the left here is the day that we hit the Million Club. Cumulatively had made $1 million in Beachbody. It would have taken me, I don't know, I made $50,000 a year at Nike. Do the math on that. How many is that? Somebody, 20 years to make $1 million? You know, it took me 5 with Beachbody. And then this year, I will make, in this year alone, $1 million. And I think like, so when someone says, I can't afford it, or I don't have time, or, you know, I don't know if I can follow your meal plan, or I hate shakes, I'm like, okay, I hear your limiting belief, and I will raise you depressed, suicidal, living paycheck to paycheck, completely broke, had to put this on a credit card, did not believe I could inspire anyone, lived in a basement apartment with basically no windows. Like I will see that, and I will raise you the life that I was living before. We gotta go. We gotta go now. Let's work on changing your life so that you can live in the results of what I'm selling. And the hardest sale you'll ever make, you guys, is to yourself. You have to work hard on selling yourself on yourself. And you know what? It's possible that you haven't even started on what's possible for you yet. And likely, that's actually likely for most of you, you haven't even started on what's possible for you yet. When I was looking, I was trying to think of what I was going to do for this call tonight. And I went through my YouTube channel, like, can I recycle some content? What could I bring? What kind of value could I bring? And I went back to like 2015 team calls, 2014 team calls. I mean, you can go back, they're public on YouTube, and watch me. And I was just a different person then, because I was working on selling myself to myself. I was working on building confidence in myself and building that belief. And I hadn't even, this life that I'm living now was not in my wildest dreams. Like, wasn't in my wildest dreams. I remember thinking like, when I would hear something was possible, like I would hear in Beachbody, it's possible. And I hope that when I say that I've made $1 million and this year alone, I'll make $1 million, you know, in this calendar year, I hope that that doesn't discourage you, because all that my success means is proof that your dreams are possible. It's proof. Anyone else's success is proof that your dreams are possible. And so when I remember in the very beginning, hearing top coaches saying, I'm in the Million Club, I, fired my boss, I brought myself home, brought my husband home, like all these things were happening, I was just like, yeah, I'll be a millionaire one day. Like, I had made the decision, and so the result was inevitable, but I had to work really hard on building belief in me. And if you are struggling with selling anything that we have, you're not spending enough time working on you. You're not spending enough time in personal development. You're not spending enough time training your most powerful weapon, which is your mind. You could have the best transformation ever physically. You could have great storytelling and great content and know how to take great photos. You could have all the friends in the world who believe in you and want to throw their money at you. But if you are not working on what's going on between your own two ears, you will eventually struggle and you will burn out. This is our most powerful weapon. So if you're struggling, and as new coaches, that's 100% of you. Everybody struggles their first 2 to 3 years in this business. Emily struggled for 4. It wasn't until her 4th year that shit started happening for her, right? But she continued to spend time building that belief in herself and working on her. All right, so what happens when someone goes to you or they say, no thanks, I don't want what you have? If someone doesn't want what you're selling, it says nothing about you. You could have a Mercedes, sweet ass Mercedes, and say, I have this Mercedes for you, it's just $10. And some people wouldn't take a $10 Mercedes. They'd think the insurance, and I don't really need the car, we've already got, it would be a second payment, and isn't the maintenance on that exciting, They won't take a $10 Mercedes, and it's not, they don't want it because they just don't see the value. It doesn't mean that the Mercedes is invaluable. It's just not for them, right? And that's okay. So if someone doesn't want what you have, it doesn't say anything about you or what we have. They just don't see the value in what you have yet. You keep going, you keep showing up. It doesn't mean that our challenge pack is invaluable and completely life-changing. It's just not for them right now. It doesn't affect my belief in what we've got at all. I want to win, 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 but not no matter what. I like being a top coach. I like being elite. I like being, 4-time elite. I like making the kind of money I make. I like living the lifestyle that I live. I like all of the things that come with the success that this business can bring you. But what really matters to me and how I started this empire all those years ago as a person who was depressed and suicidal was believing in the work that I was doing and getting to see the impact that I was making on helping people believe in themselves and change their life. That was invaluable. For someone who believed that her worth didn't matter, that this world would be better off without her, that her bestie, her husband, everybody would be better off because I was just bringing everybody down, to then have people say, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for sharing this program with me, for changing my life. Because of you, I can have sex with my husband again. Because of you, I now can go into my closet and put on anything I want. Because of you, I wore shorts for the first time. Because of you, I feel confident in my skin. Because of you and the confidence that you helped me build, I went out for this job, or I left my job and I am going to pursue my passion. And it's not really like fully because of me, right? Like, we have the tool, but they got to do the work. But that kind of stuff is what is invaluable to me. What if if you guys watched my stories, I talked about where I got emotional. What if I would have stopped inviting Emily? I hope she's on this call. What if I would have stopped inviting her? I invited her 4 times, she said. She said she ghosted me every one. And I kept inviting. And she's now like a sister. She's not even just a friend. She's a sister. And she's been able to, I don't know if she ever would have had Ella, right? Like, you have to think about like where her life would be if she didn't get to provide, like, create the healthiest body possible and provide the kind of lifestyle where she didn't have to get another job and she has the freedom to stay home with her and be a stay-at-home dog mom while she's growing this. And like, if I wouldn't have invited Emily, then she wouldn't have invited Heather or Taylor or Kelsey or Nikki or any of her coaches, right? What if I never invited Jamie Nelson, who's one of my favorite transformation stories of all time? Because Jamie walked out on any job, every single job she ever had before Beachbody. She quit all of them because of her anxiety. She'd never been on a plane. She'd never been by herself. She'd never been out of the country. I don't even know if she'd been out of the state. She had was just debilitating depression and social anxiety. And now she's thriving and she's changing lives. What if I didn't host the sneak peek that I was scared to host? And Shannon Harvey, my Teen Cup team, who took number 1 with me last month or February, what if I never hosted the sneak peek where they all said they found me in a sneak peek? Shannon, Tammy, Jody, and Ashley found me. What if I never would have done that? And think about all the lives that they're now changing and how their lives are impacted. What if my coach, never invited me? Like, I don't even want to think about where my life would be. If I would be married, if I would be alive, and if I were alive, would I be happy? Would I be checking boxes and going through the motions? Like, I don't know. And what if Danielle's coach never invited her? And Danielle has thousands upon thousands. Our downline, my downline, I have 6,500 people or something, right? Danielle's probably got 50,000 coaches. I don't know, 25,000 coaches. I don't know what she has. Thousands of coaches in her downline, lives that are changed because of her. And that's not even counting the people that are watching who haven't signed up yet. We're in a wonderful business. You just have to lead with your belief and leave the pushing and pulling behind. And the people who don't see the value in what we're doing yet, cool, man. Sit back and watch us change the motherfucking world. Ugh, I feel so emotional, like I just want to cry right now, but that's really why I'm able to sell the way I'm able to sell, you guys. is because I believe in what it is that we have. Like, I have seen what this has done for my life and thousands of other people's lives. And some of my favorite people on the planet, I wouldn't get to know. And some of them are you. I wouldn't get to know if it weren't for this business. And so when you put the pressure on Success Club and on what they can do for you, it's so selfish. It's so self-serving. And that is why you struggle. You're not working enough on you, on your mind, and on building belief in what we do. We are in a wonderful business, so you don't have to be ashamed of ever inviting somebody or talking about it or being excited about it. We have wonderful life-changing products. We're not selling quick fixes. We're selling literally lifestyle changes that are going to impact people's lives in the most incredible ways that we can't even fathom. I know that this is what I'm meant to be doing. And I know that I've helped thousands of women, and not even people who've signed up with me, like the people that are just following me, and they're other network marketers, right? Like, or they're people that they can't sign up because they're in another country. And I get messages all the time about how, because of something I said, they wear a swimsuit now, or they left their job, or they're opening this, or they're just doing things because of me showing them what's possible when you just go after something. And so, yeah, we've got challenge packs to sell, but you're also just selling what it looks like when you become the best version of yourself. You don't have to have any shame over that. Okay. That's all that I have. Literally, I could say this about everybody. Like, I'm reading all these. I'm like, what if I would have not invited you? What if I would have stopped? Like, I just saw Carrie's comment. Like, I don't know. I just don't even want to think about it, you know? So I want you guys to have faith in your ability to help people. And if you don't have faith in that, you really need to plug into our systems, plug into personal development, and plug into a program. Like, dive all in. The 21-day fix just started in real time. Like, do that. Get yourself some results. Start helping people. Because once you start helping people, you realize it's not just about you, and you can help other people. And that's when people really stop becoming numbers, and they're back to being humans, you know? Oh. Okay. Yeah. Stacy said, what the fuck am I waiting on? Girlfriend? I don't know. Maybe this is your sign. Yeah. All right. Well, I don't see any questions. Are there any questions about anything else, specifically sales? Like, I think people were hoping that there was going to be a little bit more tangible, like, how do you actually sell? But I've always, I really think I've been this way since the beginning. Because I was like, if I just believe in this enough, I'm just excited enough about this, people will buy. And I think the reason that I started seeing examples of this before I was in Beachbody, my first job out of college was I worked at Enterprise. And when you start at Enterprise, they have like an orientation, and every department comes in and talks to you what that department does. And this girl, I had just bought a Jeep like a week before. And this girl, Charity, from Enterprise Car Sales, comes in, and she is freaking out about how amazing the Enterprise Car Sales program is. Like, she's just so excited, like so passionate about it, believes it's the best thing ever, doesn't think anyone should ever buy a car not from Enterprise Car Sales. And I'm not kidding you, I wanted to buy a car. And I just bought one the week before. I'm like, can I return that and buy from here? Like, because she believed in it and I didn't even need it, right? And so I started learning, like, if I just bring that kind of passion to this, then people will want to buy from me. I can evoke that emotion. I can help them see why they want this. And that's why I've always done it. So it's not, I think we get so in our heads about the actual sales strategies, and those are out there, I'm sure. But I also want you guys to step back and see big picture and keep your minds right, you know, so that you stay focused where you should be, that your energy should be focused where it needs to be. Okay. Someone asked about personal development. Oh, where is it? What? Hold on. Can you recommend some of your favorite personal development? So the very first one that changed my life, well, the very first one that I read, I mean, they all, so many have changed my life. The very first one that I read was The Compound Effect, which is amazing. Compound Effect and Slight Edge are incredible books that teach you about that the little things that you do right now add up to big results over time. And they're easy to do, but they're just as easy not to do. So those are huge, really good books to start with. And then the really life-changing book for me that completely changed who I am as a person was The Power, I always forget if it's The Art of Imperfection or The Power of Vulnerability. Let me see if I can find it. But you have to listen to it on Audible because it's a recording. It's not like a book. Okay, The Power of Vulnerability by Brene Brown. And some of her books can get a little sciencey, but this one, since it's a presentation, it's a art conference or something, it's very interesting. But that is where I started to learn to be more like peel back the layers and be more comfortable with being me. So that one was amazing. Of course, my Bible, I'm not a spiritual person. My Bible is You Are a Badass. And I also love Rachel Hollis, Girl Wash Your Face. Sometimes I listen to things and then I'll listen to them later and I'll hear it totally differently. Anything by Gary Vee, he's really good for business stuff, but he's also good if you just want someone to take your ass into gear. He's really good for that. Oh my gosh, I loved, what's the one I listened to recently? Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. So good. I'm going through my Audible. I used to read books, but now I listen. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Really good. The Life Coach School podcast is great. Lewis Howes, The School of Greatness is good. Those are two podcasts I love. The Year of Yes from Shonda Rhimes. I really loved that. The Power of Habit is huge for those of you who seem to really struggle with like getting results or sticking to a program. The Power of Habit was really good. Or sticking through with your habit of like, you know, working your social media and like sending out your invites and your messages and stuff like that. Those are a few for now. Okay. What is a good start to a conversation when you first message someone? So actually Heather Shipley did a whole, this is like sales 101. Heather did inviting 101 and she gave a ton of really great tips. So if you go to the Coach Family team page, go to the files section, there's the list of happy hour recordings and you can watch that call. There's a lot of really awesome content on that. Mm-hmm. How do you get actual people to follow? Again, that's getting really minute. So that's thinking, how do I gain more followers? That's like, what can people do for me? Instead of, how do I serve the people that I have? Like, how do I show up in an outrageously awesome way that I can serve whoever it is that's watching me? And I give this example, this analogy of like, it's like, you know, you're having a dinner party and all the people that love you most, they're sitting around at your table and the food's sitting there, it's warm. And instead of you sitting down with the people at your table, you're running up and down your street, banging pots and pans, trying to get more people to come to your dinner party. Where it's like, if you just serve the people at your dinner table, it would organically grow. Your parties would grow. And I've always focused on that. Like I thought, what do I like to see when I'm on social media? Like, what am I scrolling? What am I inspiring? And I've always kind of been a deeper person. I've always really resonated with like song lyrics and quotes and just stories and stuff like that. And ever since I was little, I've been really into that kind of stuff. I used to have this like quote books and would write stuff down. So I've always been connected with words. And I think that that does help me create captions. But I think, what am I interested in seeing? What I'm interested in seeing, that's what other people like me, because you just have to find more yous, right? That's what other people would be interested in seeing as well. And I think I've found my voice over the years. I've gotten a lot better at writing things now. But I have a lot of things saved on Instagram. So if I run across a post, I save it. You can save things on Instagram. I'll save it. I have them in all these different buckets so I can go to, like, if I'm wanting something funny, if I'm wanting something about self-love, if I'm wanting a business planting, like business seed post, if I'm wanting a product thing, whatever. And sometimes, I mean, I've been doing this for so many years now that I'll go back through my feed and I'll save old captions that I use. I'm like, oh, sweet caption. And I'll like save that. And the next time when I'm not inspired and I want to put up my workout, like a fitness post, I'll go into those and I will recycle content. And then for the ones that give me inspiration, I will like read through it and I'll think, okay, I like this message. This is what I want to kind of pair with this picture today. And then I won't look at it again while I write my caption so that I'm not copying it. And sometimes I'll start writing something and then it'll end in a completely different spot than I thought I was going to. But it's an important message. If it's resonating with me, then, I put it out there. So, the Gold Digger podcast is a really good podcast. Yes, Kirby. She said, when I stopped focusing on the numbers, that's when I started gaining more of a following. Yeah, if you put good content out there, it's going to organically grow because people will start sharing your stuff or tagging their friends and things. And there are tons of podcasts on how to find followers and grow and, hashtags and all kinds of strategies. I don't use any of those now. And like social media changes every year so much that what I did when I was building my business, it was all built on Facebook, which I don't really do anything with I still post. But it was all built on, and it's very different now than what Instagram does. And it'll be very different in a year from now. This time last year, Facebook was still my primary market. And then it started shifting and it was like 85% Facebook, 15% Instagram. And now it's 95% Instagram, 5% Facebook, even though I have over 350,000 followers on Facebook and less than 150,000 on Instagram. Instagram converts way higher for me. That's just platform right now. So, I think you just I don't have tips, but there's tons and tons and tons of podcasts. Amy Porterfield, she has some social media podcast, something. So you can listen to that. Shalene Johnson does some on them as well. Okay, so Aaron said, everyone that follows me is selling something and focused solely on that. But if they're Beachbody coaches, then they're, it's a waste of their time to be following you. But I know that I have thousands of Beachbody coaches following me and I just pretend that I have none. And I just act like I'm serving a community of people who've never heard of Beachbody. And I wish coaches wouldn't message me. Not on our team, but coaches from the network will message me things. I'm like, no, but I could be talking to somebody who actually needs my help right now. You already have a team. But anyway, mine. So the thing about our product is that even if they're selling Rodan & Fields, they can still be a customer of yours. They still need fitness and health. I have a ton of customers who are other network marketing people. So even if they're selling something, not everybody that is, say someone sells Unique, right? It's makeup. Isn't that what that is, Unique? Not everybody needs that makeup. Because you make it, you just don't, and not everybody needs it. Everybody kind of needs what we have, which is a healthy lifestyle, convenient fitness and a simple to follow meal plan. I really believe it doesn't matter who they are. So they can be selling other things and still end up being customers and coaches. Brianne said, have you ever just told someone, well, you must not want it bad enough when they aren't following any of the steps? They aren't following any of the steps, but wait, have you ever just told someone, a customer, we must not want it bad enough when they aren't following any of the steps, but frustrated? Well, no, I wouldn't say, I don't know, maybe I have. You must not want it bad enough. I would just be well, of course you're not seeing results because you're not doing the work. Allie Griffith, if homegirl's on here, she, see if she's on here. No, she's not on here. She did my groups for like a year and was doing Weight Watchers and was like frustrated that she wasn't seeing results. And I was like, girl, if you're gonna, she asked to join another of my group, and I'm like, if you're gonna do this, then you have to actually do it. Like, buy into this, because I can't say why you're not getting results. You're not doing the program, right? So then she committed and then like saw results. So I wouldn't be like, well, you must not want it bad enough, because we don't know. Maybe they do want it bad enough, but there's another block somewhere else. It's the limiting belief they have in their brain, but they're, you know, hung up on something. So I would just, well, yeah, of course you're not seeing it. You can be frustrated if you want, but you're not seeing results, but you're not doing the work. So I would do. So Stacy said, I find that when I try to send 30 to 50 invites a day, I get into a machine mode and don't feel authentic. Well, that's okay. I feel like machine mode is fine when you're very first starting connections, because not all those people are going to respond to you. And once you start, you know, when they start responding back and you're really building that relationship and connection, then you'll get more personalized. And at this point now, I have so many people coming in that I'm not personalized until they join the group. And actually, I'm not even like fully personalized until they're coaches, because even my groups are like huge. And then, even then, I can't be super personalized until they like hit Success Club or Diamond, just because of the demands on my time at this point. But at some point, I always find out who that person is, and they know who I am, right? They feel very connected to me. And I love being able to take that time to get connected to them. But I did, you know, I had to do that for the first 4 years, really, really focus on that, like honing that skill with people. But you do have to send out a ton of messages to the people, you know, to get the messages in return. Okay, N. Pierre said, how do I make it feel less salesy? Maybe just I'll end this presentation. You can watch it from the top, because that's what the whole presentation was about. Sorry, that sounded rude, but it's like, that is the answer. It's not, don't think about it as sales. You're not selling anything, you know, like, that's the answer. You gotta get out of your brain, get out of that part of it. How do you describe the nutrition element without word vomit? I mean, there's lots of scripts in the team page. That is what I would send word for word. It's like a 21-day fix script. It's my original script. And I still use that script. I just tweak it now for every program. But that's what I say. Okay, just see. Yes, Heather, you're sharing a gift. You're not selling. Stacy said, just start talking to them like they're people, because they are people. Yes, Heather, that's a really good point. It helps to hit Success Club early in the month so you can just relax and help people. It also helps to have, like, live in the faith that you're going to hit Success Club, rather than, oh my God, I have to, like, then that's going back to what I was saying earlier. Like, I have to sell 3 challenge packs this month. I have to hit Success Club. It's like such desperation that it becomes, it's all about the points and what they can do for you. But if you're like, oh, yeah, okay, cool. So the goal is I'm going to help 3 people this month. I'm going to sign them up with challenge packs. Great, I wonder who they'll be. And you start talking to someone and it looks promising, and then they ghost you, or they're like, oh, thanks, can't afford it, talk to the hubs, he's out, blah, 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 whatever. And you're like, oh, well, shoot. I thought it was going to be them, but I guess not. Who's it going to be? Maybe it's going to be this person. Instead of, oh my God, they said, or like you guys, this happens all the time where you're like, I have share carts out, so I should be good. And then the last day of the month, you're like, ugh, they canceled their share cart. They changed their mind. It's like, well, duh, because they have limiting belief. Like, everybody will talk themselves out of it if you give them time to talk themselves out of it. You don't count on anything until the sale is complete. Because the reason that you do that is, again, because you're thinking about yourself. You're thinking, cool, check, I've hit Success Club. You're not thinking, how many people can I help? Like, that's why I hit the numbers that I hit. There's some people that don't agree with it. They're like, in the network, there's people that are like, oh, it shouldn't be this mass thing, da da da. Like, how can you possibly help that many people? I'm like, well, I'm certainly not going to tell people when they come to me, I'm ready for help. Like, sorry, group's full. You're going to have to wait a month and talk yourself out of it again. Like, if you're ready to change your life, join me now. We got to get going, right? It's too late. Let's go. Let's go. So I'm just going to help as many people as possible. I don't get to a certain number and be like, well, I hit that goal for the month. That's, again, staying focused in what they can do for you, not in what you can do for them. So hitting Success Club early is key, and believing that it's going to happen is also key. Stacy, if all my share carts win, then I have like 1 million coaches. Yes. Oh, good, Holly. Holly said, I got my second and third people on Sunday at 8 p.m. My life was miserable. Learned my lesson. I'm at 4 today and feel on top of the world. Okay, but being at 4 today also doesn't mean, cool, I have the whole month to help one more person. No, you have the whole rest of the month to help as many people that need your product find your product. You don't have to help just one more person. You help as many people as you possibly can that need your product. Okay. I'm thinking of switching my Energize to my husband. Will that affect my Success Club points? You just need 90 PV on auto ship. So if you're still getting your Shakeology is 90, and if you have that on auto ship, then should be totally fine to move your Energize to the hubs. But you can't be ordering one off. Like, it can't just order a shake one time or whatever. You know, it has to be on auto ship for it to qualify. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for hopping on tonight and spending an hour with me. I will get the recording loaded. I hope that it was helpful. I hope you learned some strategies, but also can tackle the rest of this month with a clear head about our purpose. All right, bye.